Everybody's in a hurry. Everybody is in a hurry. So today we're going to talk about 3 flips that you can do in the next 21 days. Put some money in your pocket. If you buy and sell vehicles for a profit, or you want to, you're in the right place. This is the Flipping Genius podcast. Our number one goal is to help our listeners make more money. Every episode, we share information, ideas, and experiences of real-life car flippers. I'm Randy Lee. I'm the host of Flipping Genius. I've flipped cars most of my life. For over a dozen years now, I've been a licensed dealer. I am working to build the best podcast about successfully flipping cars for a consistent profit. Let's get to it, flippers. Hey, this is Randy Lee. I am the host of Flipping Genius. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you're watching, remember you can listen, and if you're listening, remember you can watch. We'll get into more about that later. I want to apologize first for the delay. This week's episode, and you may not even know it because you might be listening to it in 2036. But as of today, I'm a day late, but I'm not $1 short. I'll tell you why. Today is the 15th of June 2022, in case you're listening to this some other time. And normally we would have come out with episode number 124 this morning at 6 a.m. Central Time, but I'm just recording it this afternoon. And a lot of that is because business is good, I have to admit. It has been demanding, not only the car business, but some other business interests I have. The car business continues to be more profitable than it has been the past couple of years for me, and I think for a lot of us, despite some difficulties finding inventory, finding the opportunities that we need to buy the vehicles at the price that we want to buy them at. But I'm remedying that personally with by expanding my attempts to buy from private parties, and by increasing my networking with other businesses. Now, we spoke about that in episode 123. If you missed it, I encourage you to go back and listen to that one. If you heard it, I encourage you to listen to it again, because I believe that maybe some of the most beneficial material that I've shared from this microphone in the past couple of years. And it's something that I'm going to constantly watch myself, because it is it's making me money, and I need to keep doing that. It's funny, I just noticed this thing. A guy's been pursuing me constantly. So that reminds me right there. You've got to be aggressive. You got to be aggressive, but maybe not as aggressive as that cat. Let's talk about that a little bit. Now, another one thing I wanted to mention is another thing that is making me late a little bit is I bought into another ongoing business it's primarily targeted towards female customers, but it is very beneficial to be a rare male voice in that market, and it's leading to new buyers and sellers in the car flipping business that I might not have gotten in front of otherwise. Kind of a different twist. I'm not going to go into that great detail, but we're talking about networking. We're going to talk more about how to make more money, and we're talking about 3 specific flips, and some of this is related to that. I find this new business is creating opportunity for increased income with very little input, and I wanted to share that concept with you because it's something I'm able to do side by side with my car flipping business. And if you are interested in investigating this new business opportunity, either for yourself or for your family, just reach out to me at flippingquestions@gmail.com and tell me you're interested in that side hustle or whatever you want to call it. And I'll share some details there, as I'm interested in expanding our influence nationwide, even internationally, and I think we can, and just want to get people who are interested in thinking outside the box. So reach out to me there, and I'll be happy to get back with you via email. I usually respond pretty quickly because time is pressing on all of us. So like I said, this week we're going to talk about 3 flips that you can get done in 21 days. And whether you're doing this full time or you're doing something else and you're doing this on the side, time is limited. I mean, time is limited for everybody. So I'm excited about sharing these things because I think these are all things that we can all do no matter what level of experience you've got. The first one I'm going to talk about, I call it the consignment flip. And I call it that because that's what it is. What I would have you do is go stand in your driveway. I suppose it depends on where you live. But for me, I would ask you to go stand in your driveway and look around. Take a walk around the block if you live in the city, uh, or look around the parking lot at work or at church or your gym or wherever else that you go regularly. And use your eyes differently. I know I've talked about this before, but I know that everybody's not taking advantage of this. We're looking for flip opportunities, and they are there. I assure you they're there. I find them every day. I don't get every one of them, but I find them every day. And I now want you to approach your neighbor, approach the coworker, approach that fellow parishioner at church, uh, and we're looking for these telltale signs. We're looking for expired tags on cars. I see those constantly. They're not always realistic, but if they're expired by 6 months or a year, you know there's something up there. Look for flat tires on cars that are just sitting there. These are eyesores in your neighborhood. You're gonna do benefit to everybody in your neighborhood, including yourself, getting rid of these things. Look for other signs of non-movement. You'll see mold and discoloration from leaves sitting on top of cars. You'll see grass growing up around the tires. You may see high grass in the yard. I saw one like that last week, and in pursuing it, not only for the house, or not only for the vehicles, there's 2 of them there, but also for the real estate, because of the situation that I believe I've uncovered there. We'll talk about the real estate some other time, maybe, but the vehicles, very, very interesting, and you can pursue this in a couple ways. But what I want to talk to you today is about selling their vehicle on consignment. Now, the beautiful thing about this is there's nearly 0 out of pocket for you, and there's opportunity for a quick profit. Now, what you do is you're going to offer to sell that and get that eyesore gone, that problem in their driveway, some irritation probably that they don't want to mess with. It could be they just don't want to deal with the public. It could be that they don't know how to deal with the public. It could be they don't know how to remedy the situation they've got with their car. But you get that door open. You get that door open. You get that opportunity open for yourself. You're going to offer to sell it and get it gone with almost no struggle or trouble for them, and that is probably more important to them than the money. A lot of times, you want to figure out what an acceptable price for them is, and sometimes people are going to be unrealistic. You'll see a 20-year-old Ford Taurus sitting in the driveway that you think you can sell for $2,500 after you get it repaired, and they want $2,700 the way it's sitting. Walk away. But you'll never know until you have that conversation. Figure out an acceptable price. If they're willing to take $300 or $400 for a vehicle, chances are you can make a deal depending on what the vehicle needs. Now, once you get a price calculated, be certain that they have the title and the rights and the willingness to sell that thing right away, because you may turn this thing over in the next 24 hours. You really want to get that in writing. You want to get an agreement. It can be simple. It can be simple. If you'd like an example of what I might use in a situation like this, feel free to write me at FlippingQuestions@gmail.com, and just put consignment form in the title, and maybe tell me what you're thinking about doing. I'll be happy to share that with you. We'll be talking more about this in Flipping Genius University in some upcoming sessions on the car flipping forum. So if you're not a member of the car flipping forum, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but remember to make a note to join the car flipping forum. It's free to join. A lot of the the Flipping Genius University classes will be free, and we'll talk about this this procedure that you want to do to follow to do this the right way to make some money and not cheat yourself out of money. It's very important that you handle this the right way. So be certain that they've got the right to sell a vehicle, that you're dealing with the seller, the owner. You've got a title. You see a title. The title's clear. There's no liens against the title, and that they have the right and the willingness, like I said, to sell it. Very, very, very important. And then another thing, once you get them to agree to the bottom dollar acceptable price for them, you also want to get them to agree, if they need to reduce that amount if there's any substantial costs for repairs or reconditioning. So if you run into some other things, you have to say, well, if I run into some other struggles, we've got to revisit this, because I obviously can't fix your car and not get paid. And if you run into somebody who just seems unreasonable, walk away. Remember, you can walk away. That's a beautiful thing. It's one of my favorite things to do, is walk away. I'm not kidding. I love to do business with people who are reasonable and make their life easier. But when they don't want to make my life reasonable and easy, I'm happy to walk away. And I think anybody that knows me would say that is absolutely true. And then the next thing we want to do is formulate a plan to sell it within a certain window of time, and then get to work. We're not going to go into every detail here, but we can go into detail on this when we do a separate session, which I think we're going to do a live session on the consignment flip idea on the car flipping forum. So be sure to sign up, join, and check that out, and I'll be notifying folks on our mailing list so that they know when we do that. Hey, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the second and the third way that you can flip stuff in the next 21 days and put some money in your pocket. Be right back. Hey, thanks for listening, and I want you to consider becoming a Flipping Team member. And when you do, we will share with you a startup kit that is valued at $250 or more. And each month, you'll get our Flipping Team Member Success Pack, which is also designed to help you make more money. Each and every month, you'll get more bonus material and other information because you're a Flipping Team member. Go to flippinggenius.com and click on the Flipping Team Member button to learn more. All right, we are back, and we'll talk about the second way and the third way that we can flip profitably in the next 21 days. Profitably is really very important. This next one I'm going to call the personal flip, and this one is interesting because I found myself doing it this week, and it's just take a look at what you own. It may not work for everybody, but what do you own that you can flip for a profit and or cash out of that will give you an opportunity to trade up to a bigger flip and more profits, that will allow you to create liquidity so that you can move into that next project you're looking for. And what do you own that you could flip and make room in your garage, your yard, your whatever space, and possibly make your wife happy or your husband. And examples could be naturally an unused vehicle, which is something that I found I have, or your current daily driver could be it. Maybe you're driving something around that you could trade up and cash out of because you bought it right. You just never gotten around to wrapping that deal up. Or it could be something that you seldom use, like a pleasure toy, like a boat or a snowmobile if you're up in Maine, like the guys on the what is that thing called? Down East Dickering. I love that show. If you haven't watched it, look that up. It's not on anymore, but it's a lot of fun with Tony Bennett. Great guy. I keep asking Tony online if he'll come be on our show. I'd love to have Tony Bennett. If anybody knows Tony Bennett up in, it's not Tony Bennett the singer. It's Tony Bennett with this huge amount of hair and a great big beard, and he's just so much fun to talk to. And he was the star of Down East Dickering with his dog Duke and his buddy, and I can't think of his buddy's name right now, and a bunch of other really interesting guys. But anyway, they talked about snowmobiles up there. I live in Alabama now. I have been living in the South for the last 30 years or so. So we don't talk about snowmobiles a lot. But anyway, if you had a snowmobile is a great thing to flip. I've seen Tony Bennett and the guys on Down East Dickering flip them a bunch of times, and it's definitely something you can do. Tori Boyd was on the show back, I don't know, 10, 15 episodes ago. Tori talked about flipping boats, something that he does every year. Motorcycles, I see them being flipped all the time on our Flipping Genius sales page here in North Alabama. These are those toys I don't really have any experience with, but I know those will work and you can cash out. If you've got toys that you don't use, or that you can pull money out of them. These are things you can flip, personal things you can flip. Another thing, work equipment, construction equipment, lawn care equipment, farming equipment, all of these things that just take a personal inventory, see what you might have that you could flip, because this is an opportunity to generate revenue that can go towards another project. And you may make a nice profit right there on that one. I'm going to make a nice profit on the vehicle that I've been hanging on to because I bought it right. You know me, you make your money when you buy it, so I buy them right. And I just happen to have something I've been holding on to for about 4 years and don't need it. Sell it, use the money to advance the cause, right? Again, I'm asking you to use your eyes differently. Look around your own yard, your own garage, your own shop, your own farm, wherever you're at, and see if there's something out there that you can flip for a profit. I bet there is. I bet, and hey, I'll tell you what, I would love to hear about them. So if you find some stuff like this, share them with us. That's one thing, and I'm seeing more and more of it, and I'm thankful for it. Share your stories and your ideas on the Car Flipping Forum. If you're not a member of the Car Flipping Forum, please join. It's free to join. I saw some great stories shared recently by a couple of the members. I don't want to mention their names all the time because they just think they're such superstars. No, I really appreciate anybody who's doing that, because it encourages us all. And if you same thing, if you're running into struggles, share those too. Now I said 3, right? I said 3 ways. So we've got the consignment flip, the personal flip, and this last one I'm going to tell you about. And I bet you don't know about this one. I just bet you don't. It's called the back row flip, and this is one of my favorites. I have told you about it before. I've given you some hints on this before, but here's what the back row flip is, and everybody who's listening to me right now can do all 3 of these things. Everybody. Maybe the second one, maybe if you don't have a stick of anything to your name, maybe you can't do it. You will be able to eventually. The back row flip is a we're looking back at our conversation from last week about networking, and again, I encourage you to listen to that one. I know it may not be so sexy because I'm not talking about engines and direct money, but I am talking about money there. It's networking is key. Now I want to zero in though on a couple specific networking opportunities, and You know, I mentioned mechanics and transmission shops and body shops and other shops that are directly related to our business, and you should make it a practice to stop periodically and just ask, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? I did that this morning. What do you got? I'm practice what I'm preaching. I did exactly that this morning before I signed on here and started telling you this. Um, what do you got that I can pay you to fix and turn around and sell because the current owner has abandoned it, um, and you can either get a mechanics lien then, or or better yet, you can actually do a consignment agreement like we talked about just a minute ago. um, in option one here, you could do a consignment agreement between you, the mechanic, and the current owner. Again, you got to make sure that everybody's up and up and everybody's got the title of this thing before you start spending money on everything. But um, and if that's not a possibility, they don't have a 2009 Honda out there that needs an alternator and a heater core that you can pay the mechanic to repair. Now think about it. This mechanic, now you've created business for him. You're gonna pay for this repair. You're also getting this vehicle out of the way. Now, if you can also help out the current owner by giving him a couple bucks, maybe you're paying him $400 or $500 for his rights to the vehicle. You're paying the mechanic, you know, 400, 500, 800, whatever, to repair the vehicle, whatever they need to repair it, and then you're turning around and selling the vehicle, and you're getting that upsell. This can be very, very profitable because in most cases, the mechanic is kind of given up on that. That's a loss leader. The owner has literally abandoned the car. They just thought, I can't afford to repair that. They've moved on to something else, and now you've got a vehicle that you can take and bring back to life, build that relationship with that mechanic, and then bring it back to then do whatever reconditioning you may need to do before you sell it. That's the one thing that can slow this down a little bit if this car needs a lot of reconditioning, but you can do that too. And you can do it in 21 days. You can. You don't. Everybody's not as lazy as me. You can turn them around faster. Now you may find that the vehicle's not salvageable. This thing's just not worth doing. There's a lot of those out there too, but that doesn't mean it's a dead end. You might be able to tow it away and get it out of their way, and sell it to a scrapper or possibly another guy who's looking for that same vehicle. If you've got those kind of connections, and the way you get those connections is by stopping in and saying, what do you got? What do you got? What do you got? You just need to ask that question, and it'll open the door to opportunity there. So this is actually 3A and 3B. So that's 3A. I should have said four ways. I could have got credit for four because this fourth one, this next one, 3B, is maybe the one that I've not really talked about it much. I probably talked about it a little bit back around episode 20 or something like that. But what we didn't talk about that much is dealers who are under pressure. Other car dealers, if you're a licensed dealer, and if you're not a licensed dealer, you can still do this. And I do encourage everybody who's listening to me, who's flipping cars, to make it a goal to become a licensed dealer. I really do believe that's the way to go for legal reasons and for business reasons. And we can talk about that more. We will on the car flipping forum and during Flipping Genius University. We'll talk more about that later. But you don't have to be a dealer right now to do these back road deal flips. Again, there are dealers who are under pressure to move inventory because they've overextended themselves with a financing plan that they call the financing plan floor planning. That's the general term. And what this is set up to do, and you can hear my interview with Danny. I can't think of Danny's name right now, back in around episode 20, Danny and I talked about floor planning, and I may be bringing another person on to talk about it again, especially now with interest rates going up and things like that. I think it may be of interest for everybody again. So we may be talking to a national company that does floor planning soon, just to give you more information about it. But we don't need that information right now. Just recognize that some of these guys are overextending themselves, and they've got vehicles that they need to move. See, they got 30 days to turn that vehicle around, and if they don't, they've got to start paying fees and interest on the money that they borrow, and that's no good. You know, that's killing their cash flow, killing their deal. So make it a practice to stop and see these guys. Now you can probably figure out by the fact that they are constantly stocked up with vehicles that they're doing floor planning. Not everybody is, but the people that don't do floor plan are a little tighter with their money, and they're not going to have as many vehicles out there. The guys with floor planning typically are just rolling in with new stock constantly, and they may be pushing it out the door just as fast and making a ton of money. I'm not saying floor planning is not the way to go. It's not the way that I do things, but you know me, I'm adverse to any borrowing. I like using my money, not somebody else's money. So make it a practice to stop in and see these guys. Now, one way you can also find out about if they're doing floor planning. So you stop in, you see this place, and they've got 30, 40 vehicles there. They seem to be moving them constantly. They're bringing a lot of stock in, and you just got a gut feeling that this is one of these floor planning places. I just ask them. I say, who do you do your floor planning through? Now, a lot of them won't answer that because they're thinking, well, maybe you're a floor plan guy or you're trying to work an angle. But if they don't want to answer, then I just admit that I'm trying to figure out which floor plan company, you know, that I should go through, and that's why I'm asking. And when I say that, that opens the door, and they go, oh, well, you should use, you know, Barbie, or you should use Tommy, or whatever. Or you shouldn't use these guys, you know. And but then they open the door and they open the vault, to quote Seinfeld, and they start telling you about their experience with that, and that is where you want to be. You want to be on the end of things where they're sharing this information with you, and then once you establish that they are financing their inventory, you keep coming back about once or twice a month and ask similar types of questions that you ask the mechanics. You know, what do you got, kind of thing. You know, do you have anything that you're having trouble getting rid of, you know, that I could buy wholesale? Do you have any problem vehicles that need some work that you just don't have time or cash to put towards right now? You offer to be the rescuer of them in their time of need, and you allow them to keep cash flowing and keep that floor plan money coming in and keep their interest and fees down. And the beautiful thing for you is that typically these vehicles have been detailed and are pretty much ready to go, because that's usually so if you got a vehicle that's ready to go, even though it's on their back row, probably they've had it all cleaned up and it looks great, except for whatever repairs that are causing them to not be able to move the vehicle. You've probably got a vehicle that's pretty much ready to sell, and then your repairs, you're just going to get those repaired and sell it. If the numbers make sense, the numbers make sense. If they don't make sense, you walk away, which is great. You get to walk away. I love to walk away. Again, be consistent. Be consistent and build relationship with these guys, and something else magic is going to happen. If you are consistent and you come see them every month, twice a month, and you ask these same questions, you say, you got anything? You got anything? You got anything? Even when they say no, and you never get anything from them, these guys will wind up sending you business and opportunities, because chances are you're probably in a little bit different business than they are. Maybe you don't do financing, you only do cash. Maybe you sell at a lower price point than they do. Maybe you sell at a lower, whatever it is you do, it's probably not the same thing they do. And chances are you're going to open a door to yourself by being consistent and building that relationship with both of these folks in number three, both the car dealers and the mechanics and other versions of mechanics. And so there are three flips that you can do in the next 21 days. You got the consignment flip, the personal flip, and the back row flip. All stuff that all of us can do, all of us, including me. I'm absolutely on the list, and I love talking to you guys about it. Because I mean, how cool is that? Hey, if you want to learn more and earn more, just keep coming back to Flipping Genius. Please save us as a favorite wherever you're listening. And remember, you can find the Flipping Genius YouTube channel too. And most of the current episodes are also done on video. And if you're watching the Flipping Genius YouTube channel right now, remember, you can find the podcast, all 124 plus episodes available on podcasts wherever you listen to. And back and forth and back and forth. We'd love it if you listen to everybody. Tell your friends, share us on social media. I'm trying to make this the biggest, best podcast about car flipping, the one that makes you money. We're trying to build it, and we've got a lot of other cool things that are linked to it. Because our number one goal of Flipping Genius from day one is to help our listeners and now our viewers make more money. And another way that we do that is by inviting all of you to join the Car Flipping Forum. It's free, FREE, free. Just search for Flipping Genius at Facebook groups, and then just ask to join, answer a couple simple questions so I can make sure that you're legit. And lots of people trying to steal our identities and stuff. Just answer those two questions, and once you're in, please participate. Ask questions, share your flips. I love that. Voice your concerns and make suggestions about future episodes, future videos, future live sessions. We're going to be having live sessions, and about the resources page. We've got a fantastic resources page hooked up with our website, and future curriculum for the Flipping Genius University. We're still working on that. Like I said, I've got these other business opportunities. You got to make the money when while the sun shines. You got to however that goes. I'm a city boy trying to sound like a country boy, but we are working on a curriculum, and your input would be great. And a lot of you, those of you who have sent me stuff, thank you very much. There's some great ideas, and we're going to be incorporating pretty much everything that we've gotten from you into the curriculum. A lot of that is going to be free. At some point in time, I'll have to charge something, but that'll be based on more one-on-one and small group stuff. So make sure that you join the Car Flipping Forum. It's free, and there'll be a lot of great free stuff on there. You can learn about everything that we do on Flipping Genius at our website, and that's easy to find. Just www.flippingenius.com. If you're watching the video, it's right above my head right now. It's just flippinggenius.com with one G. I only have the one G. flippinggenius.com. Hey, let's work together. Let's make some money. Let's all become flipping geniuses.